Here we go. Arctic Ocean water. It was a cold morning at Galbraith Lake as we left, but it would get much colder today. We planned on camping about 10 miles from Deadhorse itself. You can't drive to the Arctic Ocean yourself, so you have to sign up for a tour, which we reserved for the next morning. We had some time, so we stopped at Tulip Lake for some fishing, where we both saw and caught our very first Arctic graylings. Tina even caught a small lake trout, which I've never seen before either. We let them all go with the knowledge that we caught Arctic grayling in the actual Arctic. We had heard there was a long stretch of construction coming today, and we didn't hear wrong. It turned out to be muddy and dusty for quite a while. If you don't like your car clean, drive the Dalton. With winds going your direction, the dust just won't ever settle, and you're driving like this. With luck, you turn a little and get some great side winds to blow that dust away, for a little while anyway. With that behind us, it was time for the real goal for today, spotting muskox. There's a bunch of muskox over there, but they're just laying down. The sun is really warm. What a monster.
This is so cool.
These guys are surrounded by mosquitoes. I would like a clearer picture, a clearer video of these guys, but if I open a window, 50 mosquitoes are going to fly in here, so through the windshield it is. Also, horseflies, lots of. Truck drove by, it's kicking up a lot of dust, but I don't know if you could see the bugs. They're not bad right now. I don't know if you can see the horseflies flying around. They're just all over. It's insanity out there. But bye, muskoxes! Muskoxen. I had no idea, but the last 55 miles or so are almost completely paved and amazingly smooth. It'll be the best road on the entire highway, or at least in 2024 it was. It was better than a lot of highways overall. You can really make up some good time on this section, but the speed limit is still 50 miles per hour. After miles of flat open tundra, we were surprised by the Franklin Bluffs off to our east, still with huge drifts of snow along its walls. Here's our camp spot for tonight. We're actually right next to the Sag River. It's interesting, it looks completely unstable, and if you walk up to it, not the best, but it does have a bottom, so I think when it floods it'll definitely wash away the top. And over at the corner it's broken, so you want to stay far away. So we tucked away over here. There's one guy at the other end, and this guy drove in and he just like parked at the intersection. Really weird. We're hoping he doesn't stay there because that's very odd dispersed camping behavior to do that. Very odd. But we're gonna stay here tonight. We're only about 10 miles away from Deadhorse, and then tomorrow morning we have a tour at 8:30. So yeah, pretty nice. We might do some fishing here as well. See how that goes. By the way, I didn't know this, but like almost the last 30 miles has been almost completely paved with the nicest road you can imagine. So it's actually not too bad. It was really, really nice. It was nicer than most highways throughout the States. So almost the last 40 miles, 45 miles. Good morning. It's Saturday morning. We're actually heading into Deadhorse now. It's a little under 10 miles drive in, and we stayed at this beautiful river campsite. Now there's only one other person here, but the sun never set yesterday, and we saw it kind of cracking in, peeping in through all the cracks in the cars, and it was bright. I kept waking up thinking it was like, oh, it must be time to wake up, and it'd be 4 o'clock. Like, darn it, because the sun was just shining in through the window, because that's north, and it was pretty much just went that way and just kept shining. But now we're gonna get going and do the tour up there for 2 hours, and then we're gonna drive south quite a bit today, and then we'll get going. See you up there. We were early, so we opted to get gas first so we could leave right after the tour. There are only 2 gasoline pumps, so it's best to fill up before the entire tour group runs over there after the tour. It's another world up here though. There are tracked snow vehicles all over, just sitting around, and aisles of vehicle plug-in cables so the cars could still run in the winter. There's also a hotel called the Aurora, probably more for tourists and oil executives more than anything. Here we go, filling up on gas. It's actually not bad, $7.17, cheaper than Coldfoot or Yukon River. And this is the only place you can get gas anyway. Their pump is interesting. They got a standard pump, but they have this here as well. So you gotta flip it to on and then flip it back to off when you're done. But it's gonna be quite a bill. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's a bathroom around here. So, and it looks like in winter they close it off. They have these doors. So quite interesting. There's no card reader here. You actually have to go to a card reader building that's separate and fill up there. It stopped 14 gallons. That's about right. $100. 14 gallons. Yeah, that's about right.
Short and cool, so there's very little evaporation. So what you're looking at many years worth of accumulation of rain. So the oil was discovered in 1968, and that building probably has, other than the Pentagon,
We just got off the bus. Here we are at Prudhoe Bay, and this is all connected directly to the Arctic Ocean. So we're gonna go and stick our hands in it. I think one person wants to go take a dip. Supposedly it's super shallow for half a mile. It only goes up to like mid-thigh or something. And I guess because there's sun 24 hours a day, the water's not as cold. But it's cold, it's windy, and it's cold out here. It's 43 right now. It actually got so much colder just in the last day. It's amazing. But smells like salt water. Back to the salt water. This is the East Dock, Arctic Ocean, and it's quite interesting. They built a little walkway here. It looks like a lot of it got washed away, but it's pretty firm surface to walk. It's actually really nice. By the way, this isn't pollution or littering. They actually used steel drums to help build this jetty. As you can see how they're lined up, it just, a lot of them got exposed over time and they just rusted, of course. But hey, it's returning iron back to the oceans. Let's walk out there. Here we go. It's a little harder to reach the water. Actually, let's do this. Let's try one of these. Here we go. Arctic Ocean water. Just earlier I was at Key West. Earlier this year I was at Key West at the southernmost point, and now I'm at one of the more northernmost points that you can get to without flying or a boat anyway. Wow. Those are actually, that looks like an older pumping station, although there's power, but they have those old platforms. Believe it or not, those little buildings are pumping stations. They actually have drills down. Well, the drills aren't there anymore, but they have pipes going down. There's more there, there's more there. They are scattered throughout this area. I guess there are 35 to 40 reservoirs in this whole area, and they're pumping most of them here at this time. This way is obviously the ocean. There's nothing there, and there's over there, there's more. It's pretty wild how much oil is out here. You're just actively pumping them all. We're walking around here at the Arctic Ocean, and oddly enough, we look down and there are caribou prints, or at least one good one right here, another one a little further ahead, but there are caribou out here. Oddly enough, we drive all through Alaska, like literally all through Alaska, and we didn't see any caribou yet because they kind of migrate higher up during this time of year to get away from the mosquitoes. And oddly enough, in Deadhorse, there's just a whole bunch of them just sitting around, but they were on the left side of the bus as we were going, so I couldn't film anything. They were kind of far away. So on the way back, I'll try to film some. They'll be far away, but that's our caribou. So on the Dalton Highway, we saw muskox and caribou. It's not bad, not bad. What else? That's it, really. No grizzly bears at all. What's going on?
And then turn and go under. It can be far less expensive and far less impactful than trying to do offshore oil rigs.
There's the caribou finally.
He's eating. Whenever the bears come around the herds, they chase them away with helicopters and things. And the idea is that once the caribou...
Nice antlers on that one too. Oh boy.
Want to get up? Sorry.
Vehicles. Oh my gosh.
Electricity, plugging your vehicle in when it's cold in the wintertime. So the vehicle is equipped with a battery blanket and an oil can heater and an engine. We're almost.
Tour's over, folks. That was great. Oddly enough, on the way back we took different roads, so it turned out every single caribou was every time was on the left side of the bus. I thought for sure when we came back and if we took the same roads, you know, I'd get all the views of the caribou, but they were all on the other side. But oddly enough, also almost all the caribou were after the security checkpoint where no normal people could go, and they're all in Deadhorse. We didn't see any south of here, so. And this could be the last caribou we see. We don't know. They might migrate down from the mountains by the time we leave Alaska in September. But we're not going to count our chickens on that. But we did see muskox as well, so great. And muskox were only about 9.5 miles south of Deadhorse. Pretty close. Yeah, otherwise great day. And thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you get your chance to come out here as well. It's a little pricey for the tour, and of course, this gas is pricey, but the gas at Deadhorse is cheaper than Coldfoot or Yukon Crossing. Oddly enough, Yukon Crossing is not even that far from Fairbanks. I guess they can really stick it to people. But all right, thanks. Bye. The drive back south started with beautiful scenery with plenty of rain forecast in the area. We wanted to get much further south today so we wouldn't have to drive in the slick mud. We got a little surprised though. Caribou. No, he went in the ditch. That's okay, we got a little road here we can pull into. Guys, a caribou.
Shaggy.
Oh, this grass is so deep. There's a caribou way off, about 33 miles away from Deadhorse. But I didn't realize the plants were so deep. Yeah, he's the shaggy young one. He's got antlers, but they're tiny. He was crossing the street. That's our first caribou away from Deadhorse. So they do live out here, which is a matter of being lucky enough to see it.
So hard to see when they're in the grass.
I didn't realize the plants were so high. There he goes, running off. This whole area is swarming with biting insects, so be prepared. Sure, we didn't spot any muskox on the way south, but then another caribou. Oops. I guess we get the call.
Don't act like that wasn't funny.
Oddly enough, when we were doing the tour this morning, the car looked pretty clean, really, relatively speaking, but somehow on the drive-in today, it just got covered in dirt. Now it looks like all the other super dirty cars that are out there, completely covered in dirt. We have to clean off the license plates, just so they're visible. Ugh, even the headlights are disgustingly dirty. Very dirty car. There are a lot of oversized trucks on this road, so if a truck stops and directs you to get off the road, you best heed that advice, and especially before the Yukon River Bridge, which is very narrow. Soon after that, we said farewell to the Dalton Highway sign and headed on to the Elliott Highway.
Or deer? That looked weird.
What was that?
It's
It
a
looked
wolf.
like a doll sheep.
It's a
Oh, it's a
wolf.
wolf! Oh my god, it's a wolf! Holy cow! The Dalton Highway is notorious for breaking windshields, but we got away with a deep gouge from a rock along the door and a few more tiny specks on the windshield. This touch-up paint was supposed to be my factory color, but... The Dalton Highway is a truly one-of-a-kind experience, and although extremely long, it's worth the trip. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good day.